Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So you might be in one of two boats right now. Maybe you're holding onto your trusty iPhone 12 Pro Max, a phone that has probably served you incredibly well for the past few years, and you're starting to wonder, is it time? Is the iPhone 15 Pro or even a newer phone actually worth that big jump? Or maybe you're looking to buy a used iPhone and you see the 12 Pro Max at a really tempting price, but the 15 Pro is right there looking all new and shiny. It's a tough choice, and honestly, the spec sheets don't always tell the whole story. In this video, we're gonna try and cut through the noise. We'll compare the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro in 2025, but we're gonna focus on the things that I think you'll actually notice day to day. We'll cover the design, the display, performance, the cameras, all the big stuff, and by the end, I'll give you my honest take on which one I choose. Alright, let's start with what made this phone, the 12 Pro Max, so special in the first place. So when this thing came out back in 2020, it was a beast. It had this new flat edge design that was a throwback to the iPhone 5, which a lot of people loved. The screen was huge, the A14 Bionic chip inside was, incredibly fast for its time, and the battery life was legendary. Seriously, this was the phone for battery life for a long time. It introduced 5G to the iPhone lineup and MagSafe, which as we know has become a pretty big deal. But that was then, and this is 2025. How does it actually stack up against a newer Pro model? Okay, so at a glance, they look pretty similar, right? Same general iPhone shape, but when you pick them up, the difference is, well, it's immediate. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is made with this polished stainless steel. It looks premium for sure, but it's heavy and it's wide. I mean, you feel this phone in your pocket, and let's be honest, it's a definite two-hands phone for most people. The edges are also very flat and sharp, and this shiny stainless steel, as you can see, it is a total fingerprint magnet. Now, see, when I pick up the 15 Pro, it's just so much more comfortable. It's made of titanium, so it's noticeably lighter. We're talking about a 19-gram difference, which doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, you feel it. The edges are also slightly curved or contoured, so it feels better in your hand, less harsh. Now, another thing you'll notice, especially when they're side by side like this, see the bezels? The bezel on the 12 Pro Max is significantly thicker. It was fine for its time, but next to the 15 Pro, it definitely shows its age. And because of those thinner bezels and the lighter weight, the 15 Pro is much more comfortable to use with one hand. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a big phone and it's great with two hands, but for those quick moments when you're just scrolling or typing a quick reply, it's way more manageable. But the biggest difference on the front is the screen itself. On the 12 Pro Max, you have the classic notch. It's fine, it does the job. But the display itself runs at 60 Hz. The iPhone 15 Pro, on the other hand, has the dynamic island, which is honestly pretty cool. It's a much more elegant and functional way to handle alerts and live activities, but the real game changer is the 120 Hz ProMotion display. When I'm just scrolling through social media or browse the web on the 15 Pro, everything is just so incredibly smooth. Going back to 60 Hz on the 12 Pro Max, you can definitely feel the difference. It feels a little jittery in comparison. It's one of those things that once you get used to it, it's really hard to go back. So for just holding and looking at the phone, the 15 Pro feels like a significant step up. But what about the power behind that screen? That brings us to performance. Just for context, I'm running the latest public beta of iOS 26 on both of these phones to really see how they handle the newest software. Inside the 12 Pro Max, we've got the A14 Bionic chip. And you know what? Let's be real. In 2025, this chip is still no slouch. For my day-to-day stuff like messaging, email, watching videos, browse. Also, most games, it's perfectly fine. It still feels like a capable phone and handles most apps without any major issues. But then you pick up the 15 Pro with its A17 Pro chip, and this is where you start to see and feel a real gap, especially if you push your phone a bit. The A17 Pro isn't just a little faster, it's built on a more advanced process, making it more efficient. I actually ran a Geekbench 6 test on both of them, and as you can see on the screen now, the scores tell a pretty clear story. My iPhone 12 Pro Max scored around 241 on single core and 4952 on multi-core, which is, still respectable. But then my iPhone 15 Pro came in at 2707 for single core and a huge 680/65 for multi-core. Now, numbers are just numbers, but you feel that difference where it counts. For everyday tasks, it just feels a little snappier. But the real difference is in gaming or heavy-duty apps. The A17 Pro supports things like hardware-accelerated ray tracing, which makes high-end mobile games look incredible. But here's the biggest deal, the real kicker for 2025 and beyond, Apple Intelligence. As you know, the A17 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro is the minimum requirement for all the new AI features built into iOS. The 12 Pro Max with its A14 chip doesn't get them. So when I'm using the 15 Pro, I get the advanced writing tools, the new image creation features, and the much smarter Siri. This alone makes the iPhone 15 Pro feel significantly more modern and honestly more future-proof. So if you're a casual user, the A14 is still good enough for the basic apps you use today. But if you're a power user, a gamer, or if you want to have the latest software features that Apple is pushing forward, the A17 Pro and the 15 Pro isn't just in a different league, it's playing a whole different game. Okay, this next one is probably the reason a lot of you are thinking about upgrading. Let's talk about the cameras. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has a fantastic camera system. For years, it's been my go-to for just reliable, great-looking photos. It has three 12-megapixel lenses, a wide, an ultra-wide, and a 2.5x telephoto. In good lighting, the photos are still amazing. But the 15 Pro just gives you so much more versatility. The main camera is a 48 megapixel sensor. This means you can shoot in a super high resolution ProRAW format for incredible detail, or you can use that extra resolution to get a really clean lossless 2x zoom, which I find myself using all the time. The main sensor is also better in low light. The telephoto lens on the 15 Pro is also a more standard 3x zoom, which I personally prefer over the 2.5x. But the real advantages come with the video features. The 15 Pro has cinematic mode, which lets you create that professional looking shallow depth of field effect and change focus after you've shot the video. It also has ProRes video, which is a professional codec, and thanks to its USB-C port, you can record that high quality footage directly to an external SSD. That's a huge deal for serious video shooters. So while the 12 Pro Max camera is still solid, the 15 Pro system is just more powerful and flexible. Alright, battery. The 12 Pro Max was a champion when it was new, but here in 2025, any used model you find will likely have a degraded battery. You're probably looking at around 80 to 90% battery health, which means you might be struggling to get through a full day. You could get the battery replaced, and you should factor that into the cost. A new iPhone 15 Pro will of course have a brand new battery and a more power efficient chip. In my experience, its battery life is solid. It reliably gets me through a full day of moderate to heavy use, pretty comparable to what the 12 Pro Max was like when it was new. And then there's the charging port. The 12 Pro Max has the Lightning port, the 15 Pro has moved to USB-C. For me, this is a huge quality of life improvement. I can use the same cable to charge my MacBook, my iPad, and my iPhone. Plus, the USB-C port on the 15 Pro is USB 3 speed, meaning data transfers are up to 20 times faster than Lightning. If you ever move big video files off your phone, this is a game changer. One last little thing to mention is the mute switch. The 12 Pro Max has the classic switch we've known for years. The 15 Pro replaces this with the action button. You can customize it to do all sorts of things. Open the camera, turn on the flashlight, start a voice memo, or even run a complex shortcut. I have mine set to open the camera and I use it constantly. It's a small but genuinely useful upgrade. Now, no phone is perfect. For the 12 Pro Max, the biggest considerations in 2025 are the 60Hz screen, the aging battery, and the fact that its software support window is closing. It'll probably get updates for another year or two, but it's something to think about. For the iPhone 15 Pro, honestly, the main downside is the price. It's a significant investment compared to a used 12 Pro Max. And that brings us to the price. In 2025, you can probably find a good condition used iPhone 12 Pro Max for around $350 to $450 depending on storage and battery health. A second-hand or certified refurbished iPhone 15 Pro, on the other hand, starts at $700. That price difference is, well, it's the biggest factor for most people. Okay, so after all that, is the upgrade from the 12 Pro Max to the 15 Pro worth it? Here's how I see it. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is still a great phone and it's an amazing value in 2025. If you're on a tight budget or if you're a moderate user who mostly just texts, browses, and takes the occasional photo, some games and editing, this phone is more than enough. Just make sure you get one with a healthy battery or budget for a replacement. It's a workhorse that still gets the job done. But the iPhone 15 Pro is for the person who wants more. If you care about that super smooth 120Hz display, if you're a mobile gamer, if you want a more versatile and powerful camera system, or if you value the convenience of USB-C and the action button, then yes, the upgrade is absolutely worth it. The lighter, more comfortable design is just the cherry on top. It feels like a modern, refined device in every way. So what's my personal choice? For me, I'd go with the iPhone 15 Pro. That ProMotion display and the camera flexibility are things I use every single day, and they just make the experience of using the phone so much better. But honestly, you can't go wrong with either. They're both fantastic devices, just aimed at slightly different people at this point in their life cycles. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you're using a 12 Pro Max, are you thinking of upgrading? If you have a 15 Pro, was it worth it for you? Let me know down in the comments. If you found this video helpful, a simple thumbs up would be amazing, and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.